On the Wado Radio Show.
Yeah, man, it's DJ Wado. It's the Wado Radio Show. It's more than music, it's ministry. And normally, this brother would be calling in from his studio in Nashville, but he's actually on the road like crazy right now, man. Derek Minor is with us. I say he's one of the hardest working dudes in the game right now, man. What's up, bro?
What's up, man? How you doing, brother?
Man, I'm great, man. I'm great. It's good to be talking to you, man. And it's also good to be enjoying all this music you've been flooding us with these past few months, bro.
Hey, open the floodgates of heaven, let it rain.
That boy pulled out Paul Morton. See, I know you in Atlanta right now. That's
Hey.
Man, how you been though, man?
I've been good, man. We just been making moves, man. Change the World went #1 on the CHR charts, man. Like, album's doing well. Like, got added to some crazy playlists. Just, you know what? The highlight has been, though, like, past couple months, honestly, has been our label. I feel like we're starting to get our stride, and we're starting to figure out who we are. Yeah. As a brand, which that's what I was hoping the Reflection album would have done.
Yeah,
would do is kind of like give us our marching orders and where we're going, and that's kind of really what's happening right now. It's like everybody's locking on all cylinders, so it's a good thing.
Well, I definitely feel like your brand is way more defined almost than it's ever been. You know what I mean? And I mean, I think you guys kind of always had some stuff with the family album, right, and some of those things. But I felt like this last project you put out clearly was like, this is who we are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
yeah,
that's a good thing, bro.
That was the whole point.
Yeah.
The whole point for us, whole point for Reflection, I feel like everybody knew who I was as part of the 116 Collective.
Sure.
Everybody knew who I was as a solo artist, but nobody knew what my label and my movement was about.
Yeah.
That's what the whole album was supposed to do, so I'm glad it's working.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because, I mean, I always say, like, you just in terms of as a songwriter, you're one of the best in our scene. Just keeping it 100. Like, you've written a lot of anthems, you've written a lot of heartfelt joints, and that was one of the things I really dug about this album is, you know, you had a lot of those different sounds, but you really used it, I felt like, to really benefit and really propel what you guys are going to be about. Because, I mean, the reality is you guys have been around for a while, very talented, great group of dudes, but I felt like this focus, man, is just good for y'all, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, thank you, John.
I gotta ask you this, man, because you guys it seems like you've had a few changes at the label too. You know what I mean? Chad Jones, obviously. B. Cooper, you know what I mean? Tony Tillman's putting out music, man. So just, you know, what's going on with the label in terms of who's officially on the roster, who's family, and some of that movement we've seen, man.
So what's happened is anyone that knows RMG knows for us, we never really been like, we've been more of a family than we've been a label. And what's happened over the past couple years is we've become a family and a label in the sense of we've grown and understood what it takes to run a label, you know, and I think as we've grown, some of our artists like Chad, for instance, Chad is like, that dude is like a computer genius, like literally computer genius, bro. Like, that dude can break everything to you down about networking and all that stuff. And it's just like, you know,
I need to have him set this server up for my church then, bruh.
You really do. Dog, if he set it up, that joint gonna be ironclad. It's gonna be a wrap. But you know, like, it's him. You know, he got 4 kids.
Yeah.
And he does this amazing stuff with computers, man. It was just like, well, bro, like, we gotta pick one. Do you want to be on the road, or do you want to be, you know what I'm saying? You want to be a swordfish. Which one you want to do?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was just like, you know, when we added up, it's just like, man, he's like, man, I want to be at home with my family, bro. Like, I want to make music when I want to make it, and I don't want it to necessarily matter in the sense of, you know, do I got to go on the road for 50 dates and promote this thing in a year?
Yep.
You know, so for Chad, that was kind of the same thing. That same thing with Coop in the sense that Coop is both of them is they still my dudes. We talk almost every every month. But it's just like, Coop was just kind of like, man, I want to make music at my pace. Like, it's like, we want to free him up to let him make music at his pace where it's not like, okay, you got to go, because Coop is like that chef. And when you sit down in a restaurant, like, it's going to be fresh order cooked right then. Like, it's not, nothing's pre-made, nothing's pre-manufactured. Like, he's definitely like, man, he's a chef. So it's like, man, we want to allow him to be able to cook in that space and do that. So like I told both of them, I said, man, obviously any way I can help, let me help. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever you want to do, you still family. We always gonna do music, but it's just kind of like, I'm like, man, y'all got to do stuff at y'all pace because we going at like 0 to 100 to 1,000. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what it is. So the official roster is me, Daraj, Cannon, and Tony. So that's the official roster. And then, obviously, Chad and Coop, that's family. You know what I'm saying? So they like they the roster. They the full roster. They part of it, but they not part of the active roster right now.
I got you. That's real, man. Is that because I mean, the Chad thing. I mean, how difficult a decision was that for both you guys? Because he's been with you guys for a really, really long time. You know
day one, bro.
That's
he day one.
Yeah.
Man, you know what? It wasn't difficult in the sense of this. It was difficult and it wasn't difficult. It was difficult in the sense of this, that we may not necessarily be thinking, okay, let's set this budget aside for Chad. Like, that's the part that's kind of like, dang, man, well, we down to 4 rosters. You know what I'm saying? We may not necessarily be putting these crazy marketing plans and working in that space together. But it wasn't as difficult because it was the best thing to do for him and for us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it was one of them things where, like, I just started noticing Chad wasn't necessarily even sending records in at the rate, you know what I'm saying, that I would think. Like, it'd be like, he'd take forever and be kind of like, you hit him up, like, what you doing, fool? He like, man, I'm over here working on this computer thing. I'm about to go to this computer conference. And it's like, bro, is you really trying to do this? He like, man, on the cool, I ain't trying to be out here on the road. Because the artist grind is hard, man.
Very hard.
It's like doing a whole bunch of shows for very little money and a whole lot of work, until you begin to build your thing to a certain level, man. And it's just, and that's kind of how it was. So it wasn't necessarily hard because it was what was best. It was what was logical. But it's not hard, too, in the sense that Chad already know whenever music come up, if he send me a joint, he getting the feature back in 24 hours.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I go. Like, and if I send something to him, I'm going to get the feature back in 24 hours. Like, it's like we still doing music. We still family. We still talk. So it's like our relationship was never based on music. So it's like at the end of the day, it's kind of hard a little bit, but not that much.
Yeah, that's real, bro.
The same with Coop, because I've been knowing him since I was 16 years old.
Wow.
Like, I ran away from home and stayed at his house for a long time. Like,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, man. That's my brother. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I knew y'all went back, but I didn't know y'all went back like that, bro. Well, he was the hideout when you ran away from the crib, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Man, that's real though. That's real talk. How has the economics of the industry changed how you guys approach things? You know what I mean? Like, when I had Cannon on a few months ago, we were talking about the whole streaming thing, and he was just like, yo, I'm embracing it. Like, I'm putting a bunch of music out, and we're kind of attacking things that way, and so he was looking at it from obviously from an artist mindset. You kind of see things on both ends, you know what I mean? Being that you and Doc run the label, but then you're also an artist, obviously.
Right.
How has that kind of changed your approach to doing what you're doing now, man?
Man, I think really one thing I know about the music industry is it's gonna change. So you have to just be so committed that you're like, okay, well, if it's going to change, how? Because there's one thing about it is the industry is not going to fall. Like, it's not going to fall. Like, people going to forever want music. So the question you have to ask yourself is, how was the money being made? So for us, with streaming, also, we've never been a huge physical presence as far as in Lifeways and Walmart's, Best Buys, and all that stuff. So for us, it wasn't as big of it's not as big of a turn for us, but it is a bit of a turn in the sense that, man, you just can't waste any money. Like the music industry was, at one point in time, man, everybody was getting paid.
Yeah.
You got your you know what I'm saying, your homeboy getting paid for, you know what I'm saying, for holding your bags.
Yeah.
Like it's not like that no more. Like it's like if I have respect for any artist that's making it happen right now, because one thing I know is everybody's wearing multiple hats right now. Everybody's wearing multiple hats. Like everybody's having to be the producer, the mix engineer. They're having to be the marketing and the booking agent. Like it's a grind for everybody. So if you're making it now, like you're definitely extremely talented, and I respect that, but it's a grind for sure.
Yeah, that's real, bro. This #1 record, man. The song with Hollyn, man.
Yeah.
I don't think people realize how amazing having a song hit #1 in that space is, particularly for a black artist or African American artist, for my politically correct people.
Man.
I mean, how is that felt, man? Just having that happen for you, man.
To be real, it's a little surreal. Like, I'm out here on this roadshow tour,
Yep.
and to look in the crowd and to see people that I've never performed in front of before. Like, I've never been to Wichita, Kansas in my life.
Yeah.
And to see people that I've never seen in my life that I know, it's probably a stretch to say that they're Derek Minor fans, have heard my song on the radio and they're singing the lyrics.
Wow.
The whole arena, like, that kind of tripped me out. And then to have someone say, hey, after this, show, I always sign autographs. And this guy brings his little daughter up. She's probably like, man, 5 or 6, man. And she's like, her favorite song on the radio right now is Change the World.
Crazy.
Like, that is a good feeling. And then considering, when you think about that, now let's add all this up. We're in probably one of the most racially tense times in my generation that I can remember.
Right.
And on the top of the THR charts in CCM Music is a song with a black guy and a white girl.
Yeah.
Like, and it's about changing the world, and it's about coming together. Like, that's special. Like that's a special thing. Considering the fact too that the only other rapper to get a #1 CHR single is Lecrae.
Yeah. And
that was with For King and Country. And that was and the way it was marketed was it was for King and Country song featuring Lecrae. It wasn't even marketed to them. Well, to my knowledge, I don't necessarily know what's going on in that camp like that. But to my knowledge, that's what my radio guy was like, dude, this is special. Like, he's like, dude, you need to know how special this is. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, man, the only other person to do this is Lecrae.
Wow.
I'm like, wow. And then when you couple that with the fact that I'm independent.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
that changes everything, man.
Yeah, it's the other thing that's interesting. I knew you were going to have a record like this at some point. I actually thought it was going to be one of the records from Empire, because you to me, you had some songs on there that had that potential, like the Fly joint, the Oceans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think I might have sent you a text at some point. You know what I mean? Like, I thought that was going to be one of the ones, but I mean, bro, that record's a monster, dude.
Thank you, man. Thank you. And what's crazy is I wrote and produced the whole thing. So it's one of them things where it was from the heart, bro. Like from each snare, each hi-hat, each everything.
Yeah. Like
Dirty Rice, that's my collaborator, bro. Like, that happened he helped with the end part. That's actually his kid singing at the end. It's time to change the world. So it's even special for that because me and Dirty came in the game together. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So for us to have a number one in the game together, you know what I mean? Like it's just everything coming full circle, bro. Me being independent, doing all of this, man. It's just man. God is good, bro. Like I don't got nothing to complain about, fam. On the real.
Well, and the royalty check got to be nice too if you did everything on the record too.
Hey, you know, we gonna see, we gonna see, we gonna see, we gonna see. Man, you know, I mean, but that's the you know, and I want to encourage all the young artists that's listening right now. Like, two things: you live in an industry now where this is possible, man. Like if anything, if I never do another album and never have another number one single, I want this record to make you say, "Dag, if Derek can do it, I can do it." So for all of the dudes that's listening, you know what I'm saying, and I'm sure y'all gonna put this out. I want the tagline to be like, "Hey, if he can do it, you can do it." Like it's like this for the culture, bro. Like this ground is being broken, but I'm like, man, I want the other young dudes to walk into this. I don't want it to be me and Lecrae the only dudes getting number one singles on CHR radio. I want it to be this is the start of something that's going to happen over and over and over again. You know, that's number one. Number two, like you do live in an independent grind game, but at the same time, even if you independent, you gotta have a team, yo. Like RMG, man. Like I am blessed to have an amazing team. Doc Watson been rocking with me for 10 years. My homegirl, Risha, she started off as an intern, but she loved what we do so much that she was just like, yo, y'all pay me whatever y'all could pay me. Like, I'm going to give, you know, as many hours as I could give to this situation. My homegirl, Mimi, that we had, man, like Jasmine, Andrew, like, I got a whole team of people that work with me. So, like, a lot of times I see these young cats, it's like, well, I'm independent, but they're doing everything. I'm like, man, you got to go get you a squad and a team of people that believe in what you're doing. And if you do that, man, anything is possible. But last but not least, man, it's God, bro. Like, when I wrote that song, I felt like it was a good song, but I felt like I wrote 7 albums worth of good songs. You know, like, it's God who was the one who put Change the World number one. Like, if you knew some of the behind-the-scenes stuff to what it would take for that song to go number one, you'd be like, wow. But, man, it's...
Let me say this, man. You know, I feel like part of the reason why God is honoring you, man, is you've given so much to so many other people. You know what I mean? Like, and you know, no disrespect to your team at all, but you know, because they work hard, but you've sowed a lot of seed into a lot of ground, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, and you know what I mean. Like me and you go back a long time, brother. Like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like you've done a lot of stuff for a lot of people and didn't always get credit or recognition or, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe what you should have gotten from certain situations, so to speak. You know what I mean? And listen, man, God honors people that are faithful, brother. Like you've always been faithful to him, man. You know? I mean, none of us are perfect, bro, but you know, you've been faithful, bro. You've been faithful for a long time, Derek.
Man.
You wrote a lot of hooks. You produced a lot of records. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Made a lot of anthems for people, man. I'm just saying, bro. You opened up a lot of concerts, man. At some point, you got a headline, man. The Lord said this is the time.
Man. And, you know, that's encouraging, bro, because, like, anytime I've ever done anything, man, I've always done it for the good of everybody. Like, anyone that knows me know, man, even as some young dudes, man, I feel like I'm mentoring right now and really kind of investing in them. And it's not because, oh, man, I'm hoping to get in or whatever. But for me, it's always about the culture, man. And it's about kingdom, bro. Like one day I'm going to be 50, 60 years old, bro. And nobody going to want to I'm not going to want to rap. And you won't want to hear me rap at that age. Like, on the cool. But I don't want my impact to just be, man, this dude is just a rapper. I want my impact to be like, man, this dude changed my life. Like, this dude helped me in ways that nobody else helped. And it's like, that's what I want from that's what the legacy I want to leave. I want my kids to look up and say, man, my dad wasn't just a good rapper. He was a good human being, bro. Like, he was a man of God. And that's what it is, man. So it's encouraging to hear you say that, bro.
Hey, well, when you hit 50, we might not want to hear you rap, but with the way you've been singing lately, we might want to hear you sing, bro. So, you can sing forever.
That might be the next play, bro.
That's the next move, son. That's the next move.
That might be the next play. Yeah. And that's funny, too, like, because I just started singing 3 years ago.
Right.
Like, I always sang my hooks. Like, I was like, I would sing them and demo them for people, but I never was like, man, I'm going to put my vocal as the lead vocal. Right. And it's just kind of crazy to think. I mean, Change the World was my third singing song I've ever wrote.
Yeah.
And it goes #1 on CHR. And I'm thinking some of these people that have been on here have been trying their hardest to do it. And another thing people don't know, Change the World was the first record I actually worked to radio. I had never sent anything to radio. So wow. It's just, man, it's a God thing, bro. Like, 100%.
Wow. I didn't know that was the first one you ever sent, bro.
I never sent one record to radio, bro. Like, and as a matter of fact, I almost didn't send Change the World. My radio dude had to talk. He was like, I was like, man, whatever, man. Like, I never really needed radio to do whatever. He's like, dude, listen, please, just give it a shot. Just see what happens. And I was like, all right, man, whatever. And then it was like, yo, you number 50 on the chart. I was like, okay, cool. Yeah. You number 20 on the chart. Oh, what? You number 10. You number 5. You number 3. You number 2, man. We may not get number 1. I don't know. We'll see. This like, dog, you number 1. Oh, you number 1 again. Oh, it's just the third week. You number 1. Like, it's just kind of like, wow. Like, all overwhelming.
Yeah, that's crazy. I think the cool thing about this happening for you at this point in your career is you've been around so long and you've seen so much stuff that it can't go to your head.
Nah.
You can't.
Nah, bro. I mean, anything is possible, bro. But, man, the Lord has humbled me so much over the years, bro. Like, I'm like, God, I know this ain't me. Like, because I know when I was trying to make stuff happen for me, and God would be like, nope, shut down, nope. And then you would watch people do stuff effortlessly on accident, and God be like, shoot them through the roof.
Yeah.
It's like, so now me, I'm just kind of like, man, you know what? It's in your hands, God. You do with it what you want to do with it. I'm not even doing it for that. I just want people to hear the music and be impacted, or have a good vibe for the day after they hear it. At the very least, if they don't hear the gospel, at least they feel like they got a good vibe out of it. Like, I feel like that's a good thing too. So, like it's just whatever, man. Like, I'm just living life and loving God, bro.
Man, imagine if this would have happened when you was making like Blackout. And
oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh no. You know what? I did way more damage than I would be doing good, you know. Definitely, for sure.
Man, that's good, bro. Okay, so let me table the music talk for a little bit, man. Who's winning the NBA Finals this year, G?
Man, that joint is the Wild Wild West, bro. It's on the cool. I can't even make a definitive statement on that, bro. Like, this is what I will say. Man, shout out to Golden State. Like, that's my, obviously Chef Curry get a lot of love in my bars, when it comes to the lyrics.
Sure.
And, I mean, he's, legendary, dog. He's going to go down as one of the greatest shooters, maybe one of the greatest point guards of all time, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the pressure's on for them, man. Like, you would think with Cleveland being the NBA champions that the pressure's on the champions to come back and get another ring. But with that acquisition of Kevin Durant,
right,
if they don't get this ring, it's gonna be bad. Like, it's gonna be really, really bad because it's almost like the team was already crazy. Kevin Durant overpowered the team. Like, It's like he took them to a level that it's like it would be almost embarrassing for them to lose. So my hope is that they do win. Like, my hope is that Golden State do win. Like, I love all the teams. Obviously, my Pistons, we got a couple years to go. But I don't know, man. I if I gotta put my money on anybody, I gotta put it on Golden State. But then again, man, LeBron is Tom Brady, bro. It's kind of hard to bet against that dude, man.
Right.
Everybody, they bet against him last year, and he did the impossible. So
I don't
know.
I feel like them getting Bogut and Darren Williams, I think they're gonna beat Golden State again, bro.
Oh, not Bogut and Darren Williams is not gonna be the difference maker in that.
Well, no. But I let me put it to you like this.
Okay, you from Ohio, bro? So like, but kind of like you got a biased opinion.
Nah, Derek, this is the honest truth. I've never ever been a Cavs fan. All my friends will tell you that. I never messed with them. Like, my dad used to take me to the games, and I hated them.
What you trying to put on for the city right now?
Nah, man.
You just made Andrew Bogut the determining factor in the championship.
I'm a Lakers fan, bro. But
straight up,
he was a big part of last year why they lost 6 and 7. People keep saying because Draymond was out, but Bogut was their rim protector. I just feel like having the two of them gives them so much more versatility, and now they actually could play. Everybody on the team could get minutes and contribute. Every single person brings something different to the table.
Yeah, I mean, I say they definitely was good pickups, but I don't know. Like, here's the thing that I will say about Golden State, man. Their culture is so good as a team, and they're so well coached that I feel like you don't need. I mean, if you got a rim protector, it don't matter if Chef is shooting from half court.
But he ain't been shooting like he was last year, though, bro.
Listen, it don't like because first off, we know in the playoffs everything gonna slow down anyway.
True.
So it's not gonna be it's not gonna be I'm putting 50 points up and 10 of them was from a bazillion miles away. It's gonna be we tied up and it's 3 seconds left and we need to hit that corner shot. Like, I mean, that's what it's gonna be. That's what it's gonna be. In them situations, I gotta take Golden State. And then Draymond hopefully have his head on straight. Cause let's be honest, man. That's their best defender.
Yep.
That's their best defender, bro. Like you can't defense win championships and your best defender is out in a pivotal game, bruh. Like, I don't know, bro. Hopefully Draymond get it together and don't do nothing stupid, but I don't know.
See, that's a lot of ifs right there, man.
I think he learned. I think he learned, man.
I hope so, bro. I hope so. I hope so, man. I like Golden State a lot. Like, I actually was rooting for them last year to win. You know what I mean? Yeah. So me saying I think Cleveland's going to win is definitely not me trying to put on for the city, man. It's hard to bet against LeBron, and with them adding those two pieces, even though they small pieces, with Kyle Korver, J.R. Smith coming back, Kevin Love coming back, man, it's tough, man. It's tough to bet against that, man.
I know, man. It is tough. My thing is, I think just Golden State is desperate, dog. They have, and like when I say desperate, not like, they feel like they suck, so they're desperate. I'm like, they gotta redeem themselves. Yeah. They got something to prove, bro. Yeah. Like, they have something to prove. Kevin Durant has something to prove too. You know what I'm saying? Because imagine this: if he go to Golden State and they don't get a championship, he gonna look like a bum. Think about it. It's already people already kind of fading him right now. Like, they slick fading him really, really hard right now because he went there in the first place. So if you get there and don't even get a championship out of it, one ring, oh, they going to fade that boy for a whole summer.
Yeah.
Like, it's really going to be bad. Shaq might do a Shaq in the Fool just on the strength. Just on the strength. On the strip, and JaVale McGee on the team. So he going to put them both in there.
I know. Oh my God,
bro.
that's so crazy, bro. I meant to ask you this earlier, bro. You just on a music tip. You had a record on this new album with Chrisette Michele, and
here we go.
She caught a lot of flack, bro. When she
Here
went to
we
perform
go.
at the White House, bro.
Yeah.
I personally, this is my thing. I get it. Like, as a musician, as an artist, everybody that listens to this program knows I don't agree with Trump. But if Trump called me and wanted me to DJ at the White House, I will probably be there. But you kind of having this working relationship with her or whatever, you know, I don't know the full extent, but, you know, how did you feel seeing that, man? You know, somebody that you've worked with, she contributed to your project, all of that kind of stuff, man.
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like when I first saw it, when they first said she was gonna go to the White House, and when, you know, it was like she's been confirmed. I was like, nah, don't do it. Not. Here's the thing, though. Not necessarily. It is a tough position because I'm sure she got racks for that. Like,
right.
And she's an independent artist as well.
Yep.
But I just knew. This is what I knew. I knew the slander was gonna be so bad. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the. And here's the thing. I think it's unfortunate because on the cool, half of the people slandering her would do the same thing.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
It's like half the people that slander her would do the same thing. If somebody hit you up, all right, we want to give you $250,000 to DJ for this inauguration thing, bro. They don't look. They don't. That's the generation we live in. Is in a fake outrage thing. Like, people get up in arms over stuff for doggone, 2 days on Twitter, and then it's nothing after that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a fake outrage place. I just knew the slander was going to be bad, but, man, look, at the end of the day, all she got to do is just be quiet for about 6 months, come on back, she'll be just fine. Yeah. Like, I think that's just really, because we live in a world where everybody gets mad, but there's nothing. They get mad for the moment, and then it's it. Like, just how Twitter has moments, that's how our outrage is. It's moments. That's why it's going to be really hard to have a civil rights movement that mirrors what it looked like with MLK and Jesse Jackson and Rosa Parks, because they was in it. I mean, in it when it wasn't pretty, in it when it was pretty,
for years.
In it when it wasn't pretty, for years. Yep. Like, now, people think activism is going on and trashing somebody because they made a decision that we didn't like.
Yep.
And that's what kind of upset me about that when I looked at how they was doing it. Like, I'm like, man, let's be real. Half of these people on here, they're not artists. And if somebody, whatever they do, if their doggone special gift is flipping a coin, flipping a quarter in the air, doing heads and tails. If Trump was like, man, we'll give you $250,000 to do it, just come out in front of the stage and just flip a quarter in the air and do heads and tails, like, they gonna do it. Like, I think that's just, it's kind of trash how we do people. Like, and yeah, I think it's trash how we do people. And I think that's counterproductive when you get mad about everything. Like, every time something happens, we slander people. Like, it's just slander left and right. So where your slander doesn't even matter anymore, you know?
Bruh, think about this. Because what you said was so deep about it's hard to have a civil rights movement. When's the last time there was a police brutality case that became a hashtag that we talked about for a while? It's been months now.
I can't think of it.
It's been months now.
And it's not like they're not happening.
Bro, they still happening.
It's not like they're not happening.
There was one in my city like this past week in Newark.
Straight up.
They definitely
Straight
still
up.
happening.
Bro, it's a dude that killed an Indian dude. He killed him and said, "Get out my country."
Wow.
Shot him. Yeah, he shot. It said, I forgot what city it said, but I tweeted about it not too long ago. They straight shot this dude. Straight shot this man and said, "Get out my country." Killed him. It was 2 people. Matter of fact, I think he killed 3 people. Nobody know about it because now we're more focused on, we're more focused on slandering Trump. Really, at the end of the day, let's just slander Trump.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a big distraction. And that's the problem. And that's the thing with the whole social media thing. It's fake. It's not real, man. Like, it's just a whole bunch of people that just say whatever they feel like they need to say to get their likes up. That's the sad part about it. I feel like there's some realness in there. And some, there's some real emotion that's packed in that. I'm not going to say it's all fake and that everyone that slanders somebody doesn't care. But I'm just like, at some point in time, it has to get offline. And it has to be real action. You have to do something,
Yeah, I think what we're doing, bro, is like everybody's trying to build a brand. And so a lot of times, particularly on Twitter, people don't really think much before they tweet. They just think, okay, is this witty? Will people like this? Will this get retweeted? And then they tweet something and, they may or may not believe it. They may or may not care how it actually impacts other people that they're tweeting about. And so, it's just created. And I love Twitter, but that is one of the downsides to it. It's like it just creates this thing. Like, I like it's connected me to people that I probably would never have been connected with before, which is dope. Like, I love that part of it. But that flip side is, and man, I find myself, I used to do this all the time on Twitter. Man, half the tweets that I think now, I actually start typing them out, and then I'll read it, and I'm like, man, that's stupid. I ain't even tweeting that, dog.
Straight up. Straight up. Straight up. Straight up. Me, dog, on the cool, me right now, bro, like, if you look at my Twitter, it's much different than it was a year ago.
Yeah.
Because what I started realizing is the Bible said is, don't cast your pearl before swine. In a sense, it is not to say that all my Twitter followers are swine. That's not what I'm saying at all. But what I'm saying is, like, what he was saying in the text was, hey, don't just say stuff to people that's not gonna care.
Yep.
At the end of the day.
Yep.
And for me, what I realized is, man, I remember I used to be on Facebook, debating folks, Twitter, debating people. And when I look back over that time, like, I actually took 60 days off of Twitter. And I told my social media manager, I told her, I said, hey, you just gonna have to run this. Like, I need some time to detox. I need some time to let my brain gather. And what I came to the conclusion in those 60 days was none of that stuff mattered. None of it mattered. Like, it may have mattered I won't say none of it mattered, but it didn't matter at the rate of investment. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, where you're just like, you're in your phone up until 3 o'clock in the morning. Your wife's like, hey, what are you doing? Yeah. And I'm like, I'm debating this person over Trump. Like, at 3 a.m., like, what are you doing? It becomes really weird and obsessive. So I had to realize, I'm like, man, I'm going to let my actions speak louder than my words. So I'm going to give to, like right now, it's a joint called Equal Education that I'm heavily involved in. With my talents, it's being in my community, helping give things away and helping change my community, bro. Like, that's what I'm working on. Like, rather than debating somebody on Twitter about something that it gets to a point where you're not even listening to one another. You're just both typing at each other. And that's not a conversation. That's not productive.
Nah, man, bro, I used to do that. I feel like a lot of the Twitter culture is an extension of message board culture. You know how message boards really used to be. Like, I used to get in that, oh my God, on HCR back in the day. Holy culture, you remember that, bro? I used to get in that hardcore, bro.
Yep, that joint was ridiculous. that little message board right there, bro. It was ridiculous, bro. Like, it's like, That was ridiculous, bro. Like I used to, no lie, bro. I think Trig used to run that mud.
Yeah.
I used to be like, man, Trig, dog, I want to just blow up your message board. I want to just blow your server up, bro. I love you, but I hate your site.
Bro, it's people still posting on that message board though.
Hey, fam, more power to them, dog.
Yeah.
More power to them. Go for yours.
Yeah, it's crazy though, man. It's crazy, bro. So, you on the road right now, Rock and Worship Road Show.
Yeah.
You hitting a bunch of cities, bro.
Yeah.
What you got planned for 2017, man? After this tour,
man. I mean, after this tour, I mean, if I'm just gonna be 1,000 with you, I got at least an album worth of material ready already, right?
Wow.
Like, just being real. Like, I'm talking about, like, better material than Reflection, like, in my opinion. Like, some of it's a little more experimental. I got some really cool stuff that I'm working on. So, for me, it's like, after this tour, I'm going to take, because the cool thing about this tour is, you know, you may be in a whole nother city, but I got a lot of time to record and get kind of to myself and get my thoughts together.
That's how I was going to ask you. Do you got the studio with you on the road?
I got my laptop, which is what I produce mostly off of now.
Okay.
So, and I have a vocal set up, but more than likely it'll just be scratch vocals, and then I go home and put down the real thing.
Yeah.
In the booth. But yeah, man, I'm probably gonna try to record probably like, man, Lord willing, man, I'm gonna try to record another 20 records, and we're gonna see what happens with them.
Wow.
I got them in the can though, Wado. Look, dog. I got them in the clip, dog, ready to fire out, boy. I got them loaded up in the clip, ready to fire out.
Man, that's great though. That's good, man.
Yeah.
It's good. I said this off air, man. I want to say this on air, man. I've you know, we get in trouble when we start talking about how long we've been doing this and how long we known each other and all of that stuff. But it's been, I've known you pretty close to the beginning. You know, I think I met Doc before I met you, but it's been pretty close to the beginning. And I feel like the crop of music that you've put out recently, you know what I mean? Like, not even just change the world, but like, you know, the joints you got with Ken and the joint with Aaron Cole, your album, the EP. Like, I feel like, you know, this past 6-7 months has been the best music that you've put out. Like, just that whole overall crop of tunes. You know what I mean? And you've had some, I mean, you put a lot. I mean, look, man, you got the 3 PSA mixtapes, 5 other albums, 6 other albums.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Me and you did a mixtape back in the day together. That's how we first linked up. Like, you know? But I feel like just this season, man, has been some of the best music you've put out, man.
Bruh, man, thank you so much, man. I feel like, and you know, we said this off air, but man, like, I feel like I could do 5 more albums, bro. Like, and I think the reason why is, one, like, I look at music as a journey. Like, if you listen to all my albums, they never sound the same because I'm never trying to recreate old fire, old spice, man. It's just like, bro, I'm just trying to, whatever the flavor is at the moment that I'm on, like, that's where I'm at. And I'm always stretching myself. Like, I started singing 3 years ago. Like, now I got that in my repertoire. Like, I'm a whole nother artist now, exploring a whole different vibe, like trying to figure out, okay, how does this fit in with my rap stuff? And then even with the rap, and then as a producer, exploring different textures. And, you know, I taught myself, you know, last time we talked, I taught myself, was working on my theory. Now I'm a little bit better at my theory. Like, I have a better understanding of music, and it's a journey. So I feel like you guys just get to share in the journey of me becoming a better artist, not necessarily me trying to sell more records. Like, selling records that's the cream. I mean, that's the icing on the cake, you know. But for me, I want to give y'all new sounds, new textures, new content that, you know, that I haven't been even thinking about. So, man, it's a journey, bro, and I'm glad that it's connecting. Like, I guess that's the main thing, is I'm glad it's connecting with people.
Yeah, I mean, look, man, I feel like too, if I could be 100 with you, Derek, like
Yeah.
this, I think since you left Reach,
Yeah.
like I feel like there's a freedom that you have, man, that I don't really think you had before, whether it's conscious or
Oh, yeah.
subconscious. And what I mean by that is like before you signed with Reach, Christian rap, like there was like this unspoken rule that it had to be done a certain way, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so there was like that tension because you weren't doing it that way. And there was, we going back to the message boards, there was all types of conversation around that. Then obviously when you sign with the label and you're a leader yourself, I mean, you got to fit in with what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
that's just,
Absolutely.
and there's nothing negative. I mean, it is what it is. Like, there was a team, there was an established brand, established movement. You became a part of that and you did it well. But I feel like now, man, part of the reason why you're able to experiment and do these things that you're doing is you just have a different kind of freedom now, bro.
Man, dog, you hit the nail on the head. Like if I was to be 1,000, and like I always try to be careful when I talk about Reach because I never want people to feel like I've ever been bitter or I've ever like that's not my dudes. Like I talk to them dudes frequently at, oftentimes, and it's always good vibes and it's always love, but the main thing I think with me was you're right. Like I came in the game saying I wasn't no Christian rapper.
Right.
It's funny now that's what everybody's on now. But it's like anybody that could go through my whole like people talk like now it feels like everybody want to be socially conscious and stuff. That's how I started.
Yeah.
I started talking about my daddy being on dope.
Yep.
I started talking about, the baby mamas and all that stuff. And that kind of stuff was like, bro, just keep it about Jesus, yo. Like, don't talk about that stuff. And it's kind of funny. If I was to take you through my thought process, it was like, okay, I did know when I first started that I was rough around the edges. And when you have Lecrae and my homeboy BJ Thompson disciple me, they helped me see like some of the flaws in how I was viewing things.
Yep.
But here's the issue as far as the music was concerned. When I got there, you got to remember too, bro, like they had already had an established brand. Dog, I'm a dude that's recording out my closet, bro.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, okay, well, so Dying to Live, my first album with them was, let me see how to do it their way.
Yeah.
Like, so I just really was like, okay, I'm going to listen to everything that your producers give me. Like, I'm going to listen to whoever produced the Cray album, I'm going to work with them. Like, I'm going to work with the same writers, like everything. So then when Dying to Live came out, like some people, that's their favorite album for me. That's my least favorite album in my catalog because when I go back to it, I'm like, hey, man, it's like I listen to it, I'm like, man, it got everything. It's so calculated that it's almost like a drummer that plays on beat and never slides in that pocket. Like when I listen to Dying to Live, it's like I got all the right pieces to it, but it don't have that soul that I was used to.
Yep.
So that's why when I did Minorville was just I'm going back to Derek. Like that joy was like, I'm going to do it exactly how I want to. And it's just when you dealing with people that, like, I mean, at the end of the day, that was Reach's money going into them albums. Like, if they listen to a song and they say, yo, that song is not popping for us, like, it's going to be a little pressure to either try to make it fit the mold people want. Like, I could say for sure, if I was to say I'm going to do, like, Change the World, that would have never made a Reach album, bro.
Wow.
During the time I was there. Because, one, they'd have been like, you're not a singer. Like, you're not a singer.
Yeah.
Two, it's like a pop thing, like, and it's like, bro, it's experimental. We want this from you. That's what people want from you. Where I'm at now is I determine what people want from me, bro. So, dog, if I want to go and make a Celtic worship album, I can do it because it's my dollars being spent.
Yep.
And that's the beauty of being independent, you know.
Well, and I mean, listen, bro. You're type A personality too. So
yeah,
that's, it's like us that have that mindset. It's like, you gotta sacrifice something to be a part of a corporate situation. And I mean, listen, man, I really like, you know, you made it work, man. Like I felt like I was actually kind of sad when you left because I felt like you added a lot to them. Like you added another perspective. And I mean, look, man, I wasn't in it, so whatever. And I'm sure, you might have had some tension internally, just in terms of, I mean, you just described it. How you were approaching your records. But I felt like you added a lot, man. You added a whole lot to what they were doing, man.
Yeah, and that's good. Like I look back and I say, man, I'm thankful that I was there during the peak years of them forging a culture.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I got a chance to add to that 116 culture and really bring a flavor to it. And I would even like to think even some of the whole some of the move towards, the more aggressive stuff. Like I would like to think that I had a little even piece in that too. Like, so it's like I look at it and I'm happy, but then at the same time too, all the flavor can't just be at Reach, bro. Like that's what me and Lecrae, when we first sat down and I only did a 2-album deal with them.
Yeah.
That was the whole premise. It was like, man, like dog, he knew I went to school. We went to the same music business school together.
Yep.
We never knew each other there, but I was like, dog, you went to MTSU? Like it was like that. So he like, man, dog, I just want to help you build your thing because everybody already know I'm an alpha, bro. Like that's what it is. I'm an alpha. I know what I want. I know exactly how I want it, and I know how I want to get there. You know what I mean? And I think that's just was the whole deal. So the beauty of it is man, like we still get to do records together and move through and, hopefully tour and all that stuff, man. But yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like now I can say that because I'm like 2 albums out. Like I wasn't necessarily super excited about not being with Reach either. Like it was conflicted. Like me and Ben at Reach, we knew it was time. But I mean, that's my dudes, man. I spent 4 years in freaking tour buses and eating horrible food and having some of the best memories of my life was during that time. But then at the same time too, man, like if I'd have never left, I wouldn't have been able to give Cannon what I'm giving him now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been able to give Daraj and Tone what I'm giving them now. Bro, I may not have never had this Change the World single and be able to say, man, look, guys, Christian rap is something that's really viable, too. Like, you got Reach, you got NF, you got Derek Minor. Like, it's not just all of the successes aren't just at Reach, which makes the culture better as a whole. You see what I'm saying? So I think, God, he know what he doing, man.
Okay, so I want to ask you this, speaking about the culture. I don't know if you've seen this blog or not. Full disclosure.
Okay.
It just came out last night. We posted it this morning. So Shabby from Tom Drawer, that works with Kristen Gray.
Yeah, that's my man, Shabby. I love Shabby.
Shabby's a great dude from Toronto.
Yeah. Yeah.
He wrote a blog basically saying he thinks that Christian rap is dying. And
Christian rap is what?
He thinks it's dying, and it totally needs to rebrand itself. I'm taking it you haven't read it because you would have.
Nah, I bro. I was. My last night was crazy on this tour, so nah.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess it's hard for you to comment on something that you haven't read, but
give me the cliff notes. It's the sense of Christian rap is dying, and what I don't understand the premise of that.
I think what he's saying is financially it's not doing as well, and I think because he mentions Lecrae and Reach in his blog a lot. I think because Lecrae is kind of shifted from I'm not a Christian rapper, and there's not the whole unashamed, tour, and the movement is a little bit different. And that was for a long time. I mean, we mentioned it was the focal point. You know what I mean? That the genre basically needs to rebrand itself. You know, that's kind of the Cliff Notes version.
Okay. So this is what I will say. Christian rap is absolutely not dying. Like the restriction we're seeing in the money, the restriction we're seeing in the money is an industry wide thing. It's not a Christian thing.
Yeah.
Like Family Christian just is about to close their doors.
Ain't that crazy?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. That's like one of the biggest Christian bookstores, period, next to Lifeway. It's the second largest. So it's like, in that sense, it's not that Christian rap itself, it's not like Christian rap is dying and everywhere else is thriving. If we're talking about just album sales and things of that nature, everybody is getting their head bust right now. Because we're trying to figure the streaming out. That's why you'll see Future drop 2 albums back to back. Everybody's trying to figure out what's the code. You know, how do we crack the code? You know, with the streaming thing. So I'll say that. Now, I will give him this. Reach missed a heck of an opportunity by killing that Unashamed tour, because right now, if it had been building, the last one was in 2013.
Yep.
So that's 4 years ago. So imagine if that thing had been building for the next 4 years, how many careers would be a lot higher than they are now, you know?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say this, man. If they'd have done it right, they'd be playing arenas right now.
Straight up, man. And the thing is, too, it wouldn't just be they, because it could be a winter jam.
It could be like whoever they put on that mug, bro.
Exactly, bro. Like the brand of that thing would be so strong. Yeah. Like winter jam, it doesn't matter who's on it. They're playing arenas, bro, every day. Yep. Like because people are coming because of the experience of winter jam. Yep. So you think about a guy like say Steve Malcolm just came out. We got Daraj, and then you have, you know, maybe Lecrae felt like he outgrown the winter jam. I mean, Unashamed tour, but he just want to be a silent partner. Like, he don't even have to headline it no more. You put KB at the top of that mug. Just imagine if that brand had been growing so much that the live show portion of Christian rap would have had a really, really strong anchor. But it is what it is. That's their business, man. Like that's what that is. I think what we are seeing, though, is people that thought they knew music business and people that thought they had real plans. If your plan was, hey, Lecrae's going to tweet my album 50 times. Yeah. And, bro, that's a horrible plan. Yeah. Because what we see now, people do what they want to do. Like, us at RMG, I don't know about everybody else, but we're selling and streaming more than we ever have. Wow. We're making more money than we've ever made. But it's just, and it's not sexy. It's not pretty. You know, people don't talk a whole lot about us, or I don't know how it goes. But this is what I do know. We made more money this year than we did last year, and the year before that, and the year before that. So it's people want to have, when we talk about business, we want to see the fast results. But the fast results don't keep you here for the next 10 years. It's the slow increments of, you know, it went from just being me and Doc doing everything to now we got staff, we got people that we outsource stuff to, like we have interns and all of that. Like, it's growing. And it's at a steady pace. Now, it's not a fast pace, and it hasn't been sexy for us. It's been grit and grind like Memphis Grizzlies. But at the end of the day, I know this. Don't nobody got to tweet a Derek Minor album, and I don't got to get a feature from nobody, and I'm going to sell a certain amount of records. And that's because I've built my brand, and we built our business, and we have our own ecosystem. And that's real sustainable business. Now, I'm not saying that in arrogance. What I'm hoping is that people that are feeling like their business isn't where it's at, I would say, number one, be patient. Like, man, I don't know anybody that could just flip the switch and sell records overnight. Now, this is not the Shabby and Tom Drawer. They doing their thing, man. They got 2 amazing artists over there, and Shabby knows exactly what he's doing. Right. I think just when we talk about Christian rap as a whole, and I've heard a lot of people say that, and I'm saying, no, what's happened is people are just saying you got to sink or swim on your own. Lecrae's not tweeting out everybody album that come out. And we know that a guy with 1 million Twitter followers, if he tweet that out, it's going to get a certain degree of visibility. Sure. But what's happening is that guys are going to have to start getting it on their own, you know? And that's kind of, I think that's what it is, man. And it makes you work harder. But you know what? I can say this for sure, from my perspective. It's rewarding when you look down and you say, man, we did a plan and God honored that plan and it's working.
Well, and I think this the other thing about not even just Lecrae. Anybody tweeting your album out. If all they do is tweet albums out all day, it loses its power anyway. Like part of what made a difference when Lecrae was tweeting these albums or putting them on his Instagram or wherever he was putting them is it seemed special.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like, you know, if he tweeted 6 albums a year, you know what I mean? Like every other month, it was like, oh man, this is special. Like Lecrae really likes this. But if he started tweeting albums every week, it's like,
who is this guy this week?
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? It waters his brand down as a tastemaker. People stop believing him. You know what I mean? They stop believing him, man. So like, I think that's part of it. Like, it's hard for me to say Christian rap is dying when I look at NF Spotify listeners, and they're like 1.4 million a month. Like, I'm like, I don't know if it's dying, and he's touring. That dude is touring around the clock. Like Steve Malcolm,
selling it out, bro.
He's selling it out, man. And Steve Malcolm's on Winter Jam right now.
Yeah,
I'm on Road Show, so it's like, I mean, man, you know, I got a #1 single on the CHR. Like, it's not. I'll say this. Now, this is what I will say. It is not the business of it is not necessarily dying, because the business of selling records is the same across all genres: R&B, Christian rap, whatever. It's all the same. It's about building a fan base and growing that fan base to a place to where it sustains your company. What I will say is the old culture of Christian rap is about dead if it ain't dying.
Yep.
It's about dead. Like, if there's a new Christian rap listener, it's more diverse. If I am saddened by anything, I feel like I hate the fact that people equate being theological as a rapper with corny at times. Like, I feel like we have done ourselves a disservice by not allowing people to be unashamedly like Christocentric and rap. But then I also will say that there has been times where people have made some songs and you like, bro, that's not popping, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's like, nah, people are not rocking with your record because you talking about Jesus. They not rocking with that mug because it's trash.
Yeah.
But at the same time, dog, like, it's like, we have to leave space. That's why I'm so happy about KB staying who he's been for forever.
Yeah.
Like, because to me, he's the standard of that kind of rap.
Yeah.
Now, this is my personal opinion, and I may be biased because, like, I love that dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, we come from the same, you know, I was on Reach, and that's my dude, so I'm always root for them. But to me, he's the standard. Now, someone else may have a standard. Just for me, he's the standard. I'm like, that for me is how I feel like that music should be made. But I want to see 10 more KBs in our culture. Like, everybody can't be, I'm not a Christian rapper. Like, I don't want to see some people like, nah, I'm a Christian rapper and I make Christocentric theological music and it's dope. I want to see that, more of it. You know, I feel like if there's anything that I hate that this culture dying off, I feel like that's something we're missing. Like, Rebel was an album that changed my life, man.
Yep.
That album changed my life. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, it's some people say that type of rap is dated, man, but I feel like we need more of it.
Well, I think KB has the unique ability to make it super relevant again, depending on what his next album sounds like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Straight up.
Like, because, you know, a lot of the younger artists, I mean, they just want to see us do well, bro. Like, whatever's doing well, that's what a lot of people rolling with when you first come in the game, because you're trying to figure it out. Like, we all did that to an extent. Like, you know, it's like, okay, this is doing well. I can do this. This matches my value somewhat. Because let's face it, even a lot of the guys that I'm not a Christian rapper, most of them are proud to be Christians.
Absolutely. I say almost all of them. Like,
right. I'm not a Christian rapper. A lot of it is born from I want to reach as many people as possible, and if stripping this title is what gets me there, cool, I'll do it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I feel like I really hope, and I'm really anxious to hear what KB cooks up next, because man, I guess this is like, I mean, I'm not trying to put pressure on the guy, but I just feel like he has a very to your point, a very important voice that, I mean, needs to be heard, bro. You know what I mean?
Bro, dog. I want to. Everybody that's made like he the standard, bro. Like to me, he the gold standard of that, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like another thing too. Like I'm glad you said that about everybody that says I'm not a Christian rapper is not like ashamed of God. You know what I mean? Like I feel like we have this thing where because change is not, we don't like change, that you're seeing people dragging people over their faith because they just don't want to be labeled a certain way. You know what I mean? And I think that does a disservice too, because what that does is it makes people bitter. And at the end of the day, man, we all in this together, bro. Like that's I think that's what we're missing is that rapper that's a Christian rapper, who cares, bro? At the end of the day, we're in this together, man, because we all serve the same God. And if we fragment ourselves over something as silly as a title, like, man, what happens when, like, what else could we fragment over? Like, that's something that's silly, bro. Like, we got to be bound together by something that could surpass titles and things of that nature, man. So I'm just like, fam, like, y'all leave Lecrae alone. The dude say he like man, tell these folks, leave this man alone. Because at the end of the day, all he doing is doing what he feels like God is calling him to do. One thing I can say about Lecrae, to my knowledge, I ain't never seen him. I've seen him be an amazing dad. I've seen this dude, bro, do 5 straight shows, fly back home to make sure he back at church on Sunday, bro. Like, or doggone fly back home to make sure that he at his son or his daughter's games or whatever, like doing homework with his kids and all of that stuff. I've seen this dude be active in his church. I've seen this dude, man, give people stuff, like give tons of stuff away, man. So it's like, man, I just hate the fact when I look and see people trash this dude and his faith because of a stupid title. Like, I think that's ignorant. I think it's silly, and I think it really needs to stop. But then also at the same time, I think there also needs to be space for people to unashamedly wear a I'm a Christian rapper title. Like, we shouldn't look down on people in that sense. Like, the fact that I'm even saying we shouldn't look down on people sounds pretty silly coming from a culture of Christians. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, you said a lot there, bro. Like, I think, man, hopefully, I think what should happen these next few years and months and decades or whatever is like, you see the world differently as you mature in it a little bit. And
yeah,
I think the cool thing about, I mean, let me say this. In the past, as a rapper, when you got over 30, it was hard to keep going, to be relevant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's and it's, even in Christian rap, it was really bad. You know what I mean? Like, really, really bad. But now, man, I mean, I'm not trying to put everybody's ages out there, but I could put my age out there. I'm in my mid-30s. You know what I mean? And it's like, I have more listeners than I've ever had to the show. And I think, I would like to think I'm more mature in my mid-30s than I was in my mid-20s. And so I think that kind of stuff will be very helpful to our genre going forward, because it's not just a bunch of young Christians like a lot of us were early on. You know, there's a little seasoning with it. So.
And on the cool, a lot of it's not even the artists, man. It's some of it's the fans. Much of it is. Yep. Like most of the artists is cool with each other. It's just like, you know, I don't know, man. Like, I don't have the answers, bro, but it's definitely I just know this, man. Something as silly as a title shouldn't make you want to trash somebody on Twitter and say, I'm never buying your album ever again. You suck. You're not a Christian no more because you went on Sway and did woo, woo, woo. Like, it's like, man, that stuff got to stop. That's ignorant. Like, that's ignorant and silly, you know. But either how.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. Hey, so I got to ask you this, man, because you've actually you had some really dope tweets about this a couple weeks ago, man. It's like I feel like a lot of people are confused about Chance the Rapper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because and I've been playing his music on the show, like not even just from the Grammy. Like I right after he came on the Tonight Show, I played that joint, and I haven't really, people are digging it, but when I go on Twitter and Facebook, it's like a whole other. It's like I'm seeing people like upset, and I'm just like, I almost don't understand it. I'm like, are people upset because like some artists, are they upset because they feel like he's getting recognition and they've been putting in all this work, quote unquote, as Christian rappers, and this dude is, I guess, a little rough around the edges. He's cursing and stuff like that, but he's getting recognition. Yeah. Are people upset at that, or what? You know what I mean? It's like, what? Like, what is it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, end of the day, I can't judge anybody's motives, because that's one of the things that, it's gonna be between them and God.
Yep.
No, so I will say, I'll say, number one, it is confusing to some people in that sense.
Yep.
To see a guy like Chance the Rapper, say one thing about, smoking and all of that stuff, when culturally in your church, you're like, man, those things are sins. But to see a dude also be, talk about God. So I feel like Christians have never done a good job of embracing people that don't fit their cultural context.
Yep.
When it comes to Christianity. So if a guy is like, man, I'm a Christian, but I like listening to heavy metal, we kind of ostracize that guy. You see what I mean? I mean, I can speak for that, just being a rapper. Like, I remember when I first said, man, I want to rap, and I'm a Christian. I remember people saying I'm going to hell for that. Now it's pretty widely embraced. So I feel like American Christian culture, and this could get super duper deep, but I think at the end of the day, there's a difference between Christianity and Christian culture.
Yep.
And especially evangelicalism. Like, a lot of Christian culture is less about Christ and more about culture. And I mean, the logic behind that is we hear a dude instantly say God, and then he says, whatever he says on his record, and we just trash him and think, we just trash him instantly in this fake outrage culture. So I'll say there's a couple points. Point number one, I don't know nobody that even knows Chance the Rapper. So for me to say, oh, this dude ain't a Christian because he cussed, that's about the stupidest thing I ever heard. Like, there's multiple reasons how a guy could cuss and also be a Christian. Like,
yep.
It's like he could,
Hey, listen, man, some of their favorite Christian rappers be cursing, bro.
You feel me? Like, straight up. So I'm like that. I'm like, that has less to do with Christ and culture. You see, less to do with Christ and more to do with culture. I'll say number two, and I just found out the dude got saved 6 months before he wrote Coloring Book.
Right.
So I guess I might have a soft spot, especially because I remember when I wrote Blackout.
Yeah, bro. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Talk that talk. Talk that talk, bro, Derek.
Bro, I got trashed. Yeah. I got trashed. And I remember looking at these comments and looking at these message boards and people saying stuff like that.
Yep.
And it made me just want to be like, man, forget the church. To be honest, the main reason why I signed with Reach, when I did sign with Reach, what was so crazy with Lecrae and them was I realized that, man, these dudes, they embraced me in spite of my talent. In spite of everything, man. It was just like, y'all won't even care about your raps, none of that stuff. All we want to know is, do you love Jesus? And man, maybe we can help you grow in that perspective, man. So I'm like, with me, I got a soft spot for a guy like a Chance the Rapper. What's up, man? How you doing? Good to see you. Hey, I got a soft spot with a guy like Chance the Rapper, man. Like, because I remember the stuff he's going through. I went through it. And I'm like, man, Christians can be the most judgmental people in the world. And we're judging, not even trying to help. We're not even helping people. Like we're not even trying to get an understanding. The Bible's saying all you're getting, get an understanding. But no one's trying to hear Chance out and say, hey, man, what? No one's asking any questions. It's just like, let's just trash you. Let me just trash you. You like, I think that's a horrible thing, man. So, like, I say that number one. But then I would say number two, for us, we look at Christianity almost as a genre. Like, so Christian rap has to fit within this mold and this bubble. So a guy like Kendrick and Chance comes from outside of the bubble. We say, well, since it's not in the bubble, it can't be Christian. And I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, these dudes, they may be Christians. You never know. Yeah. I don't know what I'm content with saying is this. Let's think the best about the guy at the very least. I mean, isn't that what we're supposed to do as Christians? Like, yeah, we're supposed to be like, hey, let's lay hands on no man suddenly. But at the same time, like, so I'm kind of not cool with the people that anytime somebody say God, we want to instantly make them a Christian all the time. But I'm like, at the same time, when a guy is like on the stage of the Grammys, giving honor to Jesus and saying, man, I just want to honor God with my talent. Like, bro, you can at least give him some love for that. Now be like, see, I mean, he did do that, but, I mean, you know, he cussed on track 12. So, like, man, it's just immaturity, man. Really.
Nah, and
really.
I mean, here's the other thing, Derek. Like, this dude, the biggest shows he's ever had, Late Show with Jimmy Fallon, the Grammys, he's doing gospel music, basically.
Straight up.
Like,
yep.
Like, I mean, you know, me and you may look at this differently because we're in the industry, so we think about, you know, when you get an opportunity like that, what song are you going to do? What are you going to perform? How do you want your brand to be presented? Like, he chose to present himself that way. And I mean, man, listen, Derek, you can correct me, bro, because you've seen a lot more than I've seen. But I've never seen someone gain an advantage because they presented themselves as a Christian when you're talking about the mainstream music space.
No.
I've never seen that. Never. I mean, that's, you know.
Never. Not I've never seen it either. The only people that gain advantage by calling themselves Christians are Christians that live in Christian culture and Republicans. That's it. That's it. And the thing is, because Republicans, their base is a lot of it is white evangelical.
Yeah.
So that's it. But outside of that, in like the entertainment industry, especially, that's extra liberal.
Right.
Man. Yeah, there's no advantage to calling yourself a Christian at all. There's no advantage. So to me, I'm just like to me, I'm like, wow. Because here's a lot of things. There's a lot of dudes that would call themselves professing Christians that would never talk about their faith or their political stance because it could work against them.
Facts, bro.
Flat out.
That's facts, man. That's facts, man. Listen, brother, this went a little longer than I anticipated, man, and I know we can, you know what I mean? I got to respect your time, man.
Old friends catching up. That's all. I know,
because it's been a long time since we talked, bro.
Yeah, man, straight up.
Yeah, man. But, hey, listen, man, in all seriousness, Derek, I'm really, really happy for everything that's happening for you and your label right now. And, man, I praise God for you, bro. You stayed the course, man, and you're doing what God has called you to do, bro.
Man, thank you, bro. Appreciate you, man. Thank you just for all the support, man. And obviously, if there's any way I can help, man, just let me know. Man, absolutely, bro. Yes, sir.
On the Way Radio Show. On the Way Radio. On the Way Radio Show. Where it's much more than music, it's ministry.